Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
Now, after a day of bird watching at Lake Mattamuskeet, you might want to go to a particular store in the small Hyde County community of Englehard. There you'll be stepping over a threshold that's been crossed by customers for over 100 years. It all started with the founder selling farm supplies out of his own barn, but the inventory has expanded greatly since 1895, as Bob Garner explains as he takes us along to visit Gibbs' store.
Englehard is a tiny town in Hyde, a county of only 5,000 residents. It's surrounded by farmland and is a few miles from North Carolina's largest natural lake, Lake Mattamuskeet. Pamlico Sound is just over the tree line by way of the creek where these fishing boats are moored. It isn't the easiest place to make a dollar.
People here in the past have farmed and fished, but times are changing and everything is going mechanized and big time, and so the little man has it rough. Whether it's a merchant or somebody trying to make a living on the water or the land.
But no matter the location, there's always commerce, and Gibbs' store has been in continual operation in Englehard since 1895.
Gibbs' store is the kind of place where you can get yourself a good sturdy pair of Muckmaster work boots, or a nice piece of flashy costume jewelry, or maybe a bear trap. Or how about a French whisk for your kitchen? Or a nice jar of Gibbs store branded moonshine jelly.
You get the idea. This is a general store. It sells hardware, work and outdoor clothing, hunting and fishing supplies, basic household and farmstead items, a few groceries and snacks, who knows what else. Besides being the kind of place where the average man could browse for hours, it's also something of a museum, a showplace for things like old medicines and remedies the store used to sell, some containing opium and cannabis, and the store's original ledger. Greg Gibbs belongs to the fourth generation to operate the old store, which actually opened in a barn before moving downtown around 1900.
It was started, I don't know if I'm dying to say this, but I will say it anyway because it's kind of interesting, by my great-grandfather, whose name was Charlie Ebenezer Pettigrew Gibbs. He retired when he was 54, had 5 wives, and lived until he was 94.
There are plenty of mementos, including a 1910 statement from a Norfolk clothing store.
And I think Granddaddy was like $376.73. And they put up a hand penciled a note down there in the bottom that says, "Please send us some money. We need it."
In the old days, cargo came by rail and wagon from Belhaven to the west or through Pamlico Sound and Far Creek from the east. For years, supplying the commercial fishing industry and commercial seafood houses accounted for half the store's business. But that source of trade has declined considerably, as has family farming, which also accounted for a big share. Times change. Storekeepers change.
You know, one time the old store here sold horses and buggies and mules and buggy whips, and there's no demand for that, so we sort of got to stay focused on what you think there may be a demand for. And our business is primarily locally driven.
Today, building supplies make up the biggest single share of the store's trade, but the Gibbs have no desire to give up the historic family store, so they're prospecting, as Greg Gibbs puts it, with a gift shop designed to entice tourists. They pass within 25 miles on their way to Nags Head and other Outer Banks beaches. Decorative items and accessories, branded specialty food items, even a $5,000 glass marlin from Italy, one of only 2 in the world. Operating this quirky old general store has become a passion and part of the legacy for the Gibbs, and members of the next generation of storekeepers, the 5th, will no doubt find a way to keep it alive and vibrant. For North Carolina Weekend, I'm Bob Garner.
Gibbs store is located right on Highway 264 in downtown Englehard and is open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also order items online at gibbsstore.com.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.